eventually did lead to the creation of what was commonly known as the Lindbergh Law, making kidnapping across state lines a federal crime. But you bring up a good point. The question becomes, okay, even if Hauptmann did it, was the death penalty the appropriate punishment?
Right, and the problem is that the two theories that were posed by Lentz as the prosecutor were both unsupported by evidence that the Lentz had in hand. He knew there was no blood found anywhere. There was no way you could have a largely bloodless, mostly skeletal corpse in the woods with no blood ever found by a high-end lab in the burlap bag that supposedly transported him, on any of the child's clothing, on the crib, on the ground outside Lindbergh's house. They knew that. He couldn't have died at either location on the night of March 1, and that's the only theories that were prosecuted against Hauptmann.
Do you think this was simply a situation where the police failed to maintain control over their own investigation due to the fact that they were dealing with a well-known, popular, famous figure, Charles Lindbergh Sr.?
Well, absolutely. But the original investigation, the very first day, the Hopewell police chief wasn't cowed, and he thought it was an inside job, and he was immediately taken off the case. It was the state police who, in fact, the head of the state police worshipped Lindbergh and said that he would even lie for him in a later magazine interview. There wasn't anything he wouldn't do for Lindbergh.
Where is all of the existing evidence maintained for this case?
Well, there isn't much existing evidence because there was an issue raised about what DNA testing might show around the turn of this century. And the state police offered back the original T-shirts and some other evidence that was touched by or related to the corpse. Like they had some foot and hand bones that had been disconnected when they were found on site, so they weren't cremated. And in any event, they handed those back to the Lindbergh family, and so they couldn't be tested. So there is a little bit that's left. That included the thumb guard, I think, was given back. But what's in the museum, some of it is replacement items that look like what they were, like the thumb guard, but isn't the original one. The wood is still the same. The wooden ladder is still there, and the plank from the attic is still there.